Hey everybody, Alex here with another episode of Momentum Charting. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, thank you so much for watching again. No matter what the case, jump down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Those are the only two ways to ensure you don't miss any updates over the next couple weeks on the Qs, broad markets, all your favorite stocks, everything in between. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Let's dive in here to the chart. So today's pre-market on July 30th, and you know, if you were to go into all your whatever your favorite resources are, you know, the big media channels, the YouTubes, you would think I've seen probably no less than 10 or 15 videos proclaiming once again that like they've been saying for the last year, here we go with the start of this massive correction. Now, guys, I don't know whether that's the case or not, but I'm not completely sold on it yet. As I've always said before, I need to see proof and evidence before I just start jumping on board and saying markets are crashing. It's what I've always said. Here is what I can tell you with absolute certainty. Amazon had a big miss on earnings. Okay, they didn't like the guidance. So Amazon down big pre-market. That's kind of dragging the entire market down. At one point we were down to, I think Qs were down about 1.25% and has since recovered again. So to me, right now what's happening is we are pretty much in this sideways channel, and I think as the days go by here, I think we're going to actually start seeing this develop more and more. And just basically the long and short of it, guys, I'm going to be waiting for some sort of a break in one direction of this channel, obviously with confirmation on a couple of my indicators, momentum and volume and things like that, to kind of get a good feel of how this market's going to break. But I really do have a feeling, guys, this market's going to come down today, and we're probably going to find support down here, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of my base case right now. But as always, I do want to be cautious. Don't know if it's going to come back here and then retrace over the next week and change of trading. But here's what I did say definitively, and this was back on July 27th. At right around 7:10, 7:15 in the morning. This is what I was warning about, was the breaking to the downside of this trend line, and I warned that it's now a good idea, good time to get out of your long swing positions in the market, and a good time to exercise an abundance of patience. Okay, and that was a particular time where I had this mark, this upward trend line, which I thought it was very important for us to continue, for markets to keep blasting off to the upside, and we failed miserably. Came down here, got support, bounced up, and then down big again today. So again, I just want to be very, very cautious, and I think, like I'm saying, I believe this is going to start developing somehow inside of this horizontal channel here, and we're going to see that over the next couple days. Now, if we come down here and breach this line of support here at 360 on the Qs, or for instance we bounce off that and then breach somewhere here around 4th or 5th of August, sometime next week, then that's going to lead me to change my position on the Qs and broad markets going forward. Am I still bullish medium term? Absolutely, 100%. But I do want markets to prove it to me. I'm not just remaining bullish just for the heck of it, and I want to be bullish. No, I need to see some evidence that the market is bringing me. And as I've been mentioning the last few updates of the Qs, I am short-term 100% neutral. And this is the reason you can see these big whipsaws. The market seems pretty happy just to be whipsawing traders in and out right now. And I want to remain as neutral as I possibly can right now and let this market prove itself a little bit. Okay, so that's basically where I'm at in the markets. I want to see this thing develop over the next week and change, and being really careful Most likely a break over this area around 369, 370 would signify some sort of continuation to the upside, and a break down below this area around 360. Again, going to be paying careful attention to the indicators and seeing what they're saying, but a breakdown, a convincing breakdown to the downside of this area, 360, would signify some sort of short-term bearish momentum that was ready to enter the market. So I'm keeping a very close eye on those two levels. Let's go over here to the our momentum chart, and this is what I was having you guys watch here. This 3-hour momentum. I've been kind of carefully watching for this to break to the downside, and like I was saying, while it was inside this channel here, this sideways channel, still remaining 100% neutral. And I do have this line, bullish line of support that's propped up the last 7 or 8. It's been a lot of them in a row, the bull line of support on the Qs for the momentum. So I believe that this is going to break to the downside today. Okay, I think that's what's going to happen with this market, the futures. But I'm watching here very, very carefully for us to get support in this area and turn back to the upside. Now, if we come down here and get some sort of support and break down through this, okay, to me that is going to be flashing big warning signs in the markets, and we're going to want to watch all of our indicators to see if this thing is getting ready for at least a short-term correction of some magnitude. So I'm watching this line carefully, and I'm also watching this 360 area for support in the Qs. I think support down somewhere in this area, somewhere between 362 and 360, would represent a turn back in momentum to the upside in this area right here around 20 to 21. So I'm going to be watching both of those things very, very carefully. So obviously very micro term, the next couple days I have to be just bearish, just in the very, very micro term. Again, I do believe we're going to get support down here. I'm not trying to short this market. That's not what I'm saying. Just very, very micro term the next couple of days. A little bit bearish to neutral. Midterm, I still have to remain neutral until we get some sort of proof that we're ready to accelerate with momentum again back to the upside and break out of this 369, 370 level on the Qs to the upside. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at in the overall markets right now. It's pretty clear to me that it's a good time to exercise, again, an extreme amount of caution with your long-term, short-term swing positions. And of course, no talk is really of the Qs is really complete without a look at our chart of Apple. So let's do that quickly too. So you can see here what's happening. It looks to me almost here, guys, like this is a little bit worrisome to me, to be honest, just a little bit. I've got this kind of nasty double top here that's developed. I'm not a huge fan of that. Let's go back to let's look at our momentum chart here too on Apple. I just wanted to show this on the daily. So on the 3-hour, yeah, we do still kind of have momentum breaking to the downside here, broken down through these levels. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue, but it's just something to add to our arsenal. One of the tools in our toolkit, and I did want to show you this on the daily. Let's see. So potentially on the daily, maybe looking for some sort of top here, but we're still looking for confirmation if this thing is going to turn down. But you guys know that we've been watching this on the daily time frame, this long-term daily channel that we have developing on Apple. So potentially here getting towards the upper part of this channel, another very, very good reason to me to be cautious on broad markets, cautious on the Qs. Does that mean it's going to stop here? No, absolutely not. If we were to break this level up here to the upside, this double top around 150. You guys know we've been watching that level for some time now. Continued bullishness possibly, but again, would be watching carefully the upper bounds of this channel, somewhere between 157 and 160, probably that area. And that, you know, the market is really, again, it's appearing to me like it's just really wanting to whipsaw traders around now. So that would really, to me, be the surprise, the big surprise, if this market were to come down today and then just pop all the way back up and have Apple at these 154, 155 areas and then tank from there. That would be kind of the big surprise to me in the market. So I'm going to leave that open for now as a possibility. Yeah, so we're going to have to watch this momentum on the daily, the 3 hour. Still, again, on everything, just really, really neutral on Apple as a whole right now. Yeah, this momentum here just seems to me really wanting to develop this sideways channel here in Apple, a lot like the Qs are. But if this, I've got this short-term trend line here in place. Open this volume chart up here. So I've got kind of this a little bit of divergence here happening on these two double tops. So not at all surprising to me here, right? If Apple somehow finds a way to work down to the lower bounds of this channel, and again, expecting this to bounce to the upside. But if we're to break to decisively, for instance, this volume comes down here, moves back up, and that represents a tick back to this area, and somehow that retraces back here and we break this area below 140, 160 and start trending lower. That is going to be when I'm starting to get sort of bearish on the overall markets. But again, I need some proof, right? I'm not just following the fear and saying, okay, markets are ready to crash. I want to see some proof. To me, it makes sense to some extent that Apple just continues with this slow bleed the next few days. And in order to become even micro-term bullish on Apple, again, in the very, very short term, which I believe is a strong possibility here, I'm going to want to see a break to the upside of this short-term trend line. I think that would represent an opportunity for Apple to start carrying back to the top of this channel again around 149. So it might make for a little kind of nice micro-term swing trade back to the upside. So I'm going to be watching carefully for Apple to break the bounds of this downward sloping trend line and start working its way back to the upside with this kind of dynamic volume indicator working back up too. So I'm going to be watching for that. Also watching this momentum carefully, watching this double top. So you guys have the basic premise of what I'm looking for in the Qs and in Apple. Basically, very, very short-term neutral. Micro-term bearish, yeah, I have to be just over the next couple days. I want to see if we get support here on the Qs in this somewhere in this zone here between 362 and 360, and if indeed we are able to get that nice bounce back to the top range of this channel. So that's what I'm looking for basically, guys. Yeah, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That way you don't miss any of my updates on the Qs, broad markets, Apple, everything going forward. Real exciting times for traders, guys. We got definitely volatility in the market. I didn't even get to touch on it in this session. I'm already kind of way past where I wanted to be as far as time, but we'll touch on it next time, the volatility index. I've got some things I'm looking for with that as well. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss the next update. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, guys. Happy to be here. See everybody again shortly. Thank you. See you again soon. Bye for now.